Boyce, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your time. I've seen your media statement. I've read it. It's titled Mamusa Local Municipality in Turmoil, Decay, Collapse of Governance and Services. It's a pretty damning statement. How bad are things on the ground there in the Schweizer Renega area?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Braden. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. Indeed, that statement says it all. The situation is very bad. It's appalling. The conditions under which the community is subjected to live in is very, very, very dehumanizing. And it can never be thought of it being befitting for human beings to live under.
You say in your statement it's dogged by political and administrative instability and chaos. What's behind this crisis?
The crisis is all about power, patronage, the desire to steal public funds, and to enrich, the powerful want to enrich themselves at the expense of the community. People have been promised a better life for all over the years. We had hoped that the new council would come in and do better, but things have gone from worse to total collapse. There is basically nothing that concerns the community that these people are doing. All what they are doing is desire to steal for themselves and to enrich themselves.
Now, we've seen other reports in other municipalities where political factionalization seems to be at the core. And in your statement that you've issued about Mamusa local municipality, you also refer to one dominant political faction fighting another faction for jobs, including that of municipal manager. Yes.
Braden, if I have to give you a quick scenario, Mamusa is governed, or is supposed to be governed by the ANC as a majority party. However, what is happening is that the ANC itself is divided into two. A group of 5 councillors are pulling one side, and 4 others are pulling to the other side. And this 4 that is pulling to the other side has now joined forces with the EFF, so they are 8. And from time to time, money exchanges hands, and they manage to get a quorum here and there. So basically, this group of 4 plus EFF members have subverted all processes in the municipality, and as far as I'm concerned, they are responsible for the total collapse of our systems here.
You make a serious allegation there of money changing hands for certain things to happen. Have you got evidence of that, Boyce?
We know of that, brother, and we can present that at an appropriate time.
So now, at this stage, there's no service delivery, and in your statement you say the sheriff of the court has been attaching assets of the municipal property. Tell us about that.
The sheriff's office has been very busy for the whole of this week, and actually the part of last week, Braden. The municipality, ever since the removal of the substantive CFO from the bank accounts and the financial system of the municipality, and she being replaced by incompetent comrades, beneficiaries of patronage, municipality has not been paying its creditors. And as a result, creditors have gone to court and enforced the arrangements that the former CFO, actually the substantive CFO had entered into with them, in terms of which she has been paying them properly and on time. But now the failure to pay has led to the creditors now approaching the sheriff's office, to the extent that the sheriff, as you can see in these pictures, those are pictures that happened this week, and of the sheriff's people taking the tractor, the only truck that is used for refuse removal, and finisher, as you can see. So in other words, as from last week, not that refuse has been removed at all times, but the situation is now worse because they now have an excuse to say they don't have any fleet to service the community.
Now, as we conclude, Boyce, you say in your statement you've taken some action, you've been in contact with some government departments. Tell us about that and what kind of responses you've been receiving, and very briefly, what would you do next as a Centre for Good Governance and Social Justice about this very sad state of affairs of Mamusa local municipality that you are painting for us?
It becomes more sad to know, Braden, that the Centre for Good Governance and Social Justice has approached almost all offices in terms of hierarchy in the country. We have written a letter to the presidency last year on the 25th of January. The president responded by sending a top leadership team from COCTA National. We met with them on the 5th of February last year, and they have ever since disappeared on us. Nothing in terms of feedback. We then proceeded to the public protector, who is busy investigating. The South African Human Rights Commission, National Treasury has also disappeared on us. We had a meeting with them late last year. We have given them all the evidence that is there for them to see that this municipality is being used as a milking cow, and by those whose hands are deep in the cookie jar for their self-enrichment purposes to the detriment of the community at large.
So what are you going to do next? Because you're not getting any joy. Have you been in touch with the Auditor General's office, for example?
Oh, yes. We have escalated this matter to the Auditor General, and they have responded to us yesterday that we will have a meeting with them next week sometime. And we've been pestering the DPCI, the Hawks. We have opened numerous cases of corruption, fraud, and maladministration against the powers that be in Mamusa. But we are very worried as a center that the Hawks are not doing enough, the Hawks in the Northwest. And to that end, we have then escalated this matter to the National Office of the Hawks, and we will be in that office in Pretoria next week sometime to go and present our documents and say, and actually inquire as to why is it that law enforcement, especially the Hawks, are not doing anything in terms of the reports, numerous reports that we have laid against the implicated persons who are from the municipality.
Okay, finally.
But over and above that.
Yes. Over and above
that, we are considering bringing a court application to have this municipality dissolved, because in as far as we are concerned, we do not have a municipality in Mamusa. We only have a syndicate of criminals masquerading as leaders at the expense of the community.
Now, finally, very briefly, my last question to you. How big is what numbers are we talking about for the Mamusa local municipality, which I understand has got its head offices in Schweizer? How many people, how many residents here are being treated like this?
Well over 60,000, Braden. Mamusa is not a very big area. Well over 60,000. And the town is growing every day because of the influx from people from farms coming to the township. But this is the condition that everybody will find. And you may know, in conclusion as well, that just about 2 weeks ago, we had that terrible situation of having lost 19 people in a horrific accident. The provincial government descended on our town. They have firsthand realized and observed the potholes, the sewerage, everything that is going on that we are talking about. The provincial MEC of COCTA has been engaged, the Premier's office has been engaged, but none of them seem to be caring about what is happening in this area. So that is the state in which we are as a municipality.
Thank you very much. That's Boyce Mpempe from the Centre for Good Governance and Social Justice. It's a non-profit organization, and all the actions they're beginning to take. He's got meetings with the National Hawks next week. It's not looking good.